Hello again, everybody. This is MrNoobTubeGamer, and I'm here to talk about something that I honestly have seen coming for years now. And by years, I mean 2013, I'd say. Because ever since the Wii U came out, it's been failing and failing and failing and failing over the years. Right? When it came out in 2012, people were hyping it up. I was hyping it up too. I thought it was going to be a great system. It was going to be better than the PS3, Xbox 360, and the other consoles that were coming out later. I thought it was going to be amazing. Sadly, I was disappointed in terms of the graphics, in terms of the lack of third party support, in terms of even the lack of first party support. All in all, it was a very disappointing system. Very disappointing launch, very disappointing support. Because Nintendo promised games for 2012 when it came out, they didn't deliver. Promised games from 2013 when people kept asking, "Hey, where are the exclusives?" Never got them. And even 2014, we got a few like Mario Kart, but still wasn't really enough to put the Wii U back on its feet. So I know people were thinking, you sound really negative. Last video you made, you promised to be more positive. Well, you'll see later in the video that I will get positive, but let me just finish my statement about the Wii U's failure, and let me move on to what I really want to talk about. The Wii U just kept, as the years went by, got more and more and more disappointing. It's really hard to deny that. Now, whether or not you want to say that the games that are out on the Wii U are bad or not, that's another debate to have. But I'm just talking about in terms of the amount of support the Wii U has received from both third and first party is very disappointing. Especially first party, since that's what makes Nintendo Nintendo. But regardless, the Wii U, I think it can be considered a failure. Not like a Virtual Boy failure, but still a failure nevertheless. I doubt that they made a profit off the Wii U at all. The Wii U was a failed gimmick with the tablet style controller, and it didn't really revolutionize gaming in any way whatsoever. Not one bit. You see, with the Wii, people can argue that the Wii was a horrible system, because it was just like a GameCube with graphics and a lot of shovelware titles. But I loved the Wii as a child. I loved it. When I was 10 years old and I got my Wii for my 10th birthday, I was in love. I was in love. It was a great system, in my opinion. I know a lot of people might disagree. In hindsight, like looking in 2016, I wouldn't play a Wii again. But at the time, it was, and it revolutionized gaming, because if there was no Wii, there would be no Kinect. There would be no PlayStation Move and all these motion peripherals. The whole, hype about controller-free gaming, or, just being active while you're playing a game. The Wii revolutionized that. No one can deny that. And if you do deny that, then honestly, you're a moron. Or you're just very poorly educated about the gaming industry and how it works. Like I said, this isn't about whether or not you like Nintendo. I don't like Nintendo right now, the way they've handled the Wii U and whatnot. But you gotta give credit where credit's due. In terms of the Wii, they did great. So I'm not afraid to give praise to the Wii. I do honestly believe it's one of the greatest gaming systems of all time. Again, I know a lot of people might be surprised that I say that. A lot of people might be angry that I have to say that, but I just gonna have to say that right there. If it wasn't graphically inferior to the PS3 and Xbox 360, it would be honestly the perfect system. And if it didn't shove the, motion controls down our throats to the point where for a lot of games, we had to use the motion controls and we couldn't use like a GameCube controller, a third-party controller, or whatnot. Uh, but besides that, like I said, the Wii was a great console. But I don't want to keep talking about the Wii during this video, during the entirety of this video. That's not what I want to do. I want to talk about the fact that the Wii U is supposed to cease production in late 2016. This is something that I honestly have expected for a while. Maybe not late 2016, but I expected it to happen very soon. 4 years for a failed console is actually quite impressive because the GameCube came out in 2001 and it was discontinued in 2006. So the GameCube lasted 5 years and was a much more successful endeavor by Nintendo than the Wii U was. And also the N64 came out in 96 and was discontinued in 2001. And the N64 was immensely successful. So the fact that the Wii U lasted around the same time as the other Nintendo consoles is actually quite impressive. So I guess you can't say it's too soon for Nintendo to do it, to, release the NX this year, or whatever they want to call their console. There's only one thing I'm mainly afraid of, right? I'm not afraid of the first-party support or the third-party support, because I think Nintendo's learned their lesson on that part. But Sony and Microsoft have been getting so much for being behind PC in terms of graphical capabilities, because let's face it, as much as I have my disagreements with PC gamers, the one thing that I cannot refute is the fact that consoles will never be ahead of PC. PC will always be ahead of consoles in terms of graphical capabilities. You can't deny that. It's the truth. Now, that doesn't mean that PC gaming is necessarily better than console gaming, but it's true that PC will never be lag behind consoles, because consoles by nature are, they have certain graphical capabilities and don't adapt over the years. And that's what console generations are for. After a certain number of years, when the consoles become so outdated that it's pretty hard to make new games on them, then you move on to another generation. That's how it works with consoles, right? Or at least that's how it's supposed to work. Because supposedly Sony's going to release an upgraded PS4, which, if they do, that's honestly a really, really, really bad idea. But that's besides the point. So, to, I guess, wrap up my statement, the statement that I'm trying to make here, I'm thinking that if the new Nintendo console does in fact release late this year, gets revealed at E3, which I'm 95% sure will happen, considering the fact that this has been talked about for quite a while. Usually if something is talked about for so long, all these different rumors keep popping up, then it's most likely true. Right? Because if there's one rumor here and there, then that's one thing, but you've been hearing rumors about this console coming out this year for so long. And the fact that the Wii U is going to cease production late this year, which is what a whole bunch of Japanese outlets are reporting, then it means it's a surefire proof that Nintendo is planning on releasing their console this year, their new console. And the only reason I can see this being a problem is that they released their console this year, right? And it's been reported that they're going to be similar graphically to the Xbox One, which is not that good. Not only because of the fact that the Xbox One was released almost 3 years ago, but mainly the fact that the Xbox One right now graphically isn't that great. Especially the fact that the PS4 is slightly more powerful than it. So the Xbox One is always looked at as the less powerful platform. So if the Wii, not the Wii U, the next Nintendo system, codename NX, is in fact similar in power to the Xbox One and is released this year, it's going to be overwhelmingly outdated in a year, 2 years maximum. And then it's going to be the same problem that Nintendo's been having for countless generations, is that they're always behind their competition in terms of graphics. Now, people might be saying graphics doesn't make a game, graphics don't make a game. Well, that may be true. But if you're banking on Nintendo having third-party support, and if they're so drastically behind the other systems in terms of graphics, then don't expect there to be too much third-party support. I'm not trying to be negative here, I'm just being truthful. That's what's going to happen. Now, I am being hopeful. Hopefully, it's a good system. Hopefully, they improve and they learn from their mistakes, especially since there's new leadership in Nintendo after the tragic passing of Satoru Iwata. Which, honestly, don't get me wrong, it's sad that he died, but there might be a silver lining since there's a new CEO and there's new leadership in Nintendo because of that. But regardless, all in all, I have a whole bunch of different feelings about this. I think it might be good that the Wii U is going to be cut off life support at this point because it's been hanging on thread for years and it hasn't been selling at all. But at the same time, if they're going to be behind in graphics, that's going to be really bad for Nintendo. But hopefully not. Hopefully I'm wrong in terms of graphics. So that's what they said. They said it's going to be similar to the Xbox One. These different Japanese outlets that supposedly leaked information about, the planned future manufacturing of this console. But let's remain optimistic here. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, that's what I have to say. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching, like always, and I'll see you guys later.